Okay, today I'm going to show you how to create a monochromatic landscape and winter sky. So you get your tints and shade colors, your white and your black, and then your hue, which I've chosen blue. You can do any sort of color for your sky. You want to add a moon. You can do a crescent moon, you could do just a circle moon, whatever you want to do, and definitely need a horizon line. So instead of starting with our hue first, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our white. And we want to just add a little bit of white to our moon, okay? After you get that done, we need to add a little bit of white to the top of our hill, just like I did there. Looks like my green marker is kind of bleeding. I didn't mean for it to do that, but I just wanted to do a darker line. I'd like you to do yours with pencil. Now, we're gonna take a little bit of our blue, just a tiny bit on our brush, and mix that all in with our white paint here. And remember, you wanna keep that white paint in a nice puddle. Don't spread it around on your paper here, because then you would waste the paint. So I have a nice tint of blue, so I'm going to go ahead and go around my moon, and then don't forget to do your snow, just like that. Now I'm going to do it again. Add a little bit of blue to the white paint, mix it together, and then do another line around my moon. Don't forget to do the snow. So it's getting darker as it goes around. Again, do it again. A little bit of blue mixed to our white paint and around all the way to the edge. So you might end up going off of the paper, and that's okay. And then we're gonna do our snow as well. One more time, getting into the blue. This is going to be a little darker because I did add a little extra blue there. When I get close to my horizon line, I have to be careful because we're going to want a nice crisp line there where our snow meets. And then we want to go all the way off the paper, all the way to the corners. We're almost to our hue now of blue. Watch how you can do this trick with your brush. I'm gonna get a little more paint on my brush and come and paint right next to my snow line. Right next to it. And now it's time to come and do the bottom of my paper. So the whole snow area is done, okay? All I need to continue on with is my sky. Remember last time when we said if you add a little bit of dark black, it goes a long ways? And that's exactly what will happen. Now I'm just in my hue. I'm not going into the white at all. I'm gonna start right here where my snow is. Again, keeping this line crisp. Do not go into the snow, the top of the hill. And now pretty much all I'm painting with is my blue for a little bit. And it's time to add just a tiny bit of black to the blue paint. And come over and paint that line. A tiny bit more to the blue paint. It's gonna start to look like a midnight sky. You don't wanna get too dark too quickly. Okay. And my last section here, right off there, just like that. Ta-da! Now once that dries a little bit, I will show you the next step, and it doesn't take long to dry, so just give it a couple minutes and I'll show you the next step. All right, now we're ready for the next step. I still have my tints and my shades, and I'm gonna make a tree. Now for a tree, I'm gonna get into my black paint. And remember how I taught you that you can turn your brush to make a skinny line or a thick line. I know that trees are thick at the bottom and thin at the top. So I'm gonna practice over here by turning my brush, practice on my paper towel just with the black paint, and turn my brush as I pull up. And you can obviously get another sheet of paper if you'd like to do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and plant my tree right in my snow and turn my brush as I go up. Now I could come in and make a couple of extra branches. That looks nice. And I could definitely add a few more if I want to. Now, it's time to do the fun shadow. I like to get in a little bit of black and blue. My moon is here, so directly at the bottom here, from where my tree is growing, this way is where my shadow would go. Directly off in the opposite direction. Pretty cool, right? Couple of other things kids like to end up doing is making an evergreen tree. So if you don't want to make one of these trees and you want to make an evergreen tree, I'm going to just start it down here, and that is where you bounce the brush. Sometimes I like to start, at the top instead of the bottom, but I do want to have an ending line. So my tree is going to start right up here, and it's going to come down, straight down. So you start with a T, upside down T, and I'm bouncing my brush. And then you can bounce your brush and let some of the white show through, because when the white shows through, it looks like you can see those cute little branches falling with the snow on them. After that dries a little bit, and then of course you can add just a kind of a rough shadow. I like to just do a dry brush technique for my shadow here. Kind of like that. After that dries a little bit, you want to have a fresh brush. So I'm going to get a fresh brush real quick. Just get in your white paint and you can do dabs of snow. Of course you want to have your paint dry a little more than what I have given mine time allowed to, so you will just go ahead and do some dabs if you want. You don't need to do a lot, because a little bit goes a long ways. You could also do snow on this tree's branches if you want to. And that is how you do a winter landscape.